One thing, Coach, that I want to say, I've noticed this throughout these latter years, when we've been running into each other around Utah. Unfortunately, we saw each other at, one of my teammates, one of my former players, Bronzell Miller's funeral.
Yeah.
Right? And, you've been known for all the years that I've known you. If someone's getting married and you can be there, you're there. We talked about it at our last show because we're giving a lot of high praise to you as the type of coach that people naturally gravitate towards. If someone unfortunately passes away, you're there because not only does it seem to mean a lot to you, but it seems to me that it probably means that much more to the family. Like to have Bronzell's boys, to have their dad's coach, who he just esteemed, he loved you, to have you at the funeral, I think that was very important. So I'm just wondering, for you, when you're going to those events and stuff like that, behind the scenes, what's going through your mind when you're at those events, and why do you show up?
Well, I tell you, with Bronzell, it was because I had so much history with him. I can still remember he walked in my office when he graduated from high school. He said, "Okay, I'm ready to play." He had no grades. He
was just skinny at the time too, tall, lanky.
I said, "Dude, where's your transcript?" He said, "Oh, I got to have a transcript." Yeah. I said, "Yeah, you got to have a transcript, and you got to be a qualifier." He said, "What I got to do to get that?" I said, "Well,
true story, by the way."
So why? All of a sudden, he became my responsibility, right?
Like you're a school counselor.
Yeah. He just sat down and said, "Well, I'm ready. What do I have to do?" And so I said, "Well, okay, first thing you have to do is go to JC so you can make up your grades." JC, where's that? I put him in JC, right? And then he came back, after he got qualified. And he was a great player, drafted by the Rams. And he did all kinds of crazy stuff. But
just that's his character. That's his personality. That's who he was. We love him.
But you know what? The interesting thing about him is that he had cancer.
Yeah.
And his biggest goal in life at that time was to get his master's degree from college. And so he's struggling with this cancer, and he got his master's degree, and then Marnie, who was his ex-wife, she's the one that stood up for him, and she went back to Milwaukee with the kids. They flew him out here so that he could pass away out here, and all the play. And what was great about it is Marnie got in contact with all of his former teammates, so we'd all visit over at her house, have lunch or whatever, and sit around and talk story, and it was just, what she did is, I don't know too many ex-wives would do what she did for him at the end. And that just says a lot about Marnie and the boys and the daughter, and it was hugely sad, but also it was great to see him because he was so funny. He was even funny when he didn't feel good. He was, there's so many stories about that dude, man. I could.
Well, I was fortunate enough. So the Thursday right before he passed away, 3 days before he passed away, I had no idea what was going on. I wasn't part of that social media group. I quickly ran over there, spent 3 or 4 hours with him, and he had a moment, some time where we could just talk story, laugh, and then all of a sudden the pain started to kick in, so he had to take the pain medication. And I was thankful just to have those moments, share those moments. But one thing stood out when I was talking to him, every one of those moments were all provided by one person, you.
Yeah, well,
he told me that if you didn't tell him those things, if you didn't point in that direction, he was like, I don't know what I was going to do with my life. I just thought I played football. And he gave all the credit towards you inspiring him just by telling him, taking the time as a head coach, just by telling him to go do a few things. He's like, okay, I'll just go do that. He just wanted someone to tell him what to do.
And that shows his loyalty too. To have a kid not qualifying, usually some people would be just like, oh, okay, whatever, we're just going to pass up on him, we'll get somebody else.
Yep.
He just took his time, made sure he was able to do what he got to do, and still, got him to where he wanted to be, got his education what he wanted. That's crazy because a lot of coaches just, leave him off in the wind.